Welcome back.
We're back. Week 5.
There it is.
This is episode 3, technically.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, because we missed out on the second episode. But it's a recap of the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, correct. Bears wearing jetpacks. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us, ladies and germs. Let's get right into it. Brenan, share us your screen. Show us how the league is looking. Where is everyone at coming in to week 5?
Yeah, if we look into the standings.
Yeah.
What stands out to you?
Well, I mean, 2 things. I'd say 2 people have separated themselves from the pack, one of them being on the top of it, one of them being on the bottom of it now. Both you and Colin in sole first and last place. Everybody else sitting easy at 2-2. But all in all, after 4 weeks, still anybody's league. Obviously, nobody should get too comfortable or worried. Got a lot of ball left. And yeah, let's start getting into what we missed last week. It was an exciting week. A lot of things to touch on. What do you think?
Before we do so, can we play a couple of the voicemails that were left from the gents in the league, or do you want to wait until after?
Oh no, sure, we could do some voicemails.
We have our first voicemail here, sent to us by one of our listeners. Let's play that. We have not listened to it.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks guys. A lot of fans out there.
Peter, Brenan, you tried to write me off. I ain't right back though. Put some respect on Jeff's dad's name. He works really hard.
Do you think that's him blowing leaves in the background, or is that like a neighbor? I don't know.
No, I think it's probably guess him.
You know, I don't know how anyone can seriously roster Aaron Rodgers in an 8-man league, but sure, we're not writing you off yet. You certainly have good players, a great coaching staff in the Tampa Bay coaching staff. So you're right there in the middle of the pack, Ozzy. We're not forgetting about you.
Thank you very much for the call, Mr. What was that caller's name, co-host?
Mr. Jeff's dad.
Sure. Did we get a real name on that one? Is it just as AIM screen name or something?
No, I believe his name was Ozzy Garnica.
Oh.
Yes.
From
Is that
how you pronounce it?
A family from the Colombian Spanish region of Latin America. Yes, it is the Garnica family.
Right on.
I think. Leave a voicemail next week to see
regardless, let's move on to our next caller. Hopefully they have more fucking
this caller, this is our next caller here, premised his audio with a question: where is Ken?
Last week was just a big old fluke. You might want to check some of Ken's players for PEDs, and honestly, you might want to check on Ken. Haven't heard from him in a little bit.
That is true.
Thank you very much for the call. Do we know the name of this caller? Is it?
Yes, this audio was by Call.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Call. Good points being brought up and fair questions, and honestly leads us in perhaps maybe to our first segment. Brenan, do you have anything you want to just respond to this caller directly with first before we move on?
I just also want to know about the safety and well-being of Kennedy Dowling, and I want to reiterate that we all care about you, Ken. If you think that you're out of this league,
let me speak on behalf of Ken, because he is a silent killer. All right, that is how Ken Dowling goes about his business. He is just getting started, tearing up the freaking turf in this league.
Seriously.
He doesn't need to say much about it. He doesn't need to post GIFs or memes. He just does it. And
are you insinuating a winner of the week, Peter?
I'm defining a winner of the week as Ken Dowling. What a performance. You know, a lot has changed in 2 weeks. I think whether it's the lost episode or the first one before it, I can't remember. Ken was my loser of the week. And I remember saying, you know what? There's a chance that he starts to fall off the face of the earth after this week. And we don't really hear from him much more in the standings. He was playing against me, who was 2-0 at the time, 0-2 back then. And he has gone on a tear. He destroyed me. And then he made a mockery of what was it? Ozzy's or Sheamus's team last week, dropping 250 points. I mean, who else is the winner of the week, Brennan? I prayed you to tell me.
Yeah, last week Ken put a whooping on Ken Has a Noodle Arm, which is Colin. So he won that question. And so the question still remains, how high is Connor? I don't know.
Three players in the 30s last week. His tight end.
I know.
40 points. His worst player was 18 points.
My winner of the week was also Kennedy. I believe your last winner of the week was Kennedy, or maybe it was mine because it was Kennedy and Colin both getting their first wins.
Yes,
yeah, again, coming back. There's nothing flashy about his team. You know, I would think, Joe Burrow.
It doesn't look good, Brennan. It doesn't look like a good team. But
seriously, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the dude's got some ballers, clearly in Deebo Samuel, clearly in, Josh Jacobs, who he actually scored 34 points, which is more than all of his first 3 weeks combined. T-Hawk has been filling in for some receivers that are down. DeAndre Swift's down for the Lions. He scored almost 40 points last week. He had 12 targets, which is like some Mark Andrews, Kelsey type, points that you have, 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson back in the All-Brennan team this week. It's the only person on the All-Brennan team this week, though. That is even there. The rest of them are just kind of getting the job done.
You want to know the most disrespectful part of this that's going on? Brent, you want to scroll down a little bit and see that this man still has Kadarius Toney on his roster. All right. Let me tell you a little something about Kadarius Toney. He hasn't played in 2 weeks. Okay. He has caught 2 balls this season. All right. He's rushed 3 times, I think. This guy is the least valuable fantasy player that you could find in the league. And Ken is going on tears with him. Just sitting, taking up spot on the bench. It doesn't matter. What is Michael Gallup doing? What?
Hey, if you gotta bench those players to get the results, who knows what he's been doing? But very, very good week.
I'm getting worked up because at this point I'm almost cheering for this team more than mine. All right, I want Ken to continue this and just not say a word in the group chat. I think it's hilarious. He just says at the end of the year, 1 text, Venmo username. That's it.
He's like, oh yeah, I forgot my ESPN password. So what happened? Seriously,
right.
that's funny. Yeah, he was my winner of the week also. He beat Colin handedly, scored the first time over 200 in the league so far in 1 week, and it was by 35 more points than that. So was crazy impressive. Had a lot of good things going for him last week. Congratulations, Kennedy. I don't know if you want to go into your loser of the week, but I'll go quick into my loser of the week because it's not. I thought it was a pretty great week all around.
Same to me.
My loser that I did come up with was Mitch Trubisky. As we all, a lot of Bears fans in here, I'm sure they were happy to see that he got pulled. They probably wish that that happened in Chicago last year. Or the year before that, whenever that was, that he was playing for the Bearsies. He went 7 for 13, 84 yards in the first half, got sacked 3 times, threw an interception, had a QBR of 7.5, had no touchdowns. And then Pickett came in. And as a Jets fan, I was watching the game. Their offense went off. I think Pickett makes this whole Steelers better. So the offense. So, he ended up having 2 touchdowns. And also, I will say, I saw this statistic. Pickett was the first QB in his debut to score 2 rushing touchdowns in NFL history. Isn't that kind of a crazy stat?
That's cool. Good for
Yeah.
him. Good for
Yeah,
old
right.
gloves. I love him.
I was jealous when he came on the field. I was like, damn, he looks good. So yeah,
Yeah.
Mitch's really was an issue for that offense. So I assume that all the Steelers players are going to start playing better because they did when he came on the field.
Yeah, I think you're right. My biggest loser of the week, we'll be going to Mr. Sheamus, Mr. Bill Ponderosa. The Bill Ponderosa show is struggling for attendance. There's some wavering reviews online.
Oh shit.
There are some cast member injuries. They, just 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, I think Sheamus was at 2-1, and his one loss was 100. I think he scored 150, and he lost to 180. And his team looked fantastic. I don't know about head and shoulders above the rest of the league, but I think he was at least a little small head above the rest of the league. Lays a total dud last week, didn't even crack 100. Again, his team looks fantastic as ever, but it was just a whole lot of single digits from those stars on the screen right there. So Sheamus, loser of the week, but I think you may agree with me there. So we'll see if the show gets back on the road next week.
Yeah. Ozzy Zabuela put the stomp down on the Bill Ponderosa show with 140 points to his 99. And I questioned Jeff's ability to speak Spanish because he put what's his name as the GIF in the group chat, and I think he kind of thinks that he's talking about Ozzy's grandpa, but would love to hear from Jeff. I think the grandma. I don't know. I thought it was grandma because it
Right. Gotcha. I got you.
So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he was just going for the old thing, but the old guy won. Obviously, it's Abuela Dos. So yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's hop in to next week's matchups. All right. Getting into our first matchup of the week, it is the aforementioned Bill Ponderosa show going up against Frank, 2-2 teams. I mean, at this point, I don't know. I don't know how much there is to say going into these weeks because I just have no fucking clue who's going to score points and who's won't. Frank, Kyle Pitts, he's not doing well, nor is Najee Harris. But Brandon Ayuk is doing better. Pat is always good. So I don't fucking know. I don't have much to say on this matchup. Best of luck to you both. I don't even have actually, I'll pick Sheamus for this matchup. I think he'll get it back on track.
Seamus got a new picture for his team too. Do you know who that is?
Well, Lovey Smith.
No, Lovey. So that's adorable.
Yeah, that is adorable. Honestly.
That's pretty cute. Yeah, this is a good matchup. We'll see. Definitely players on both sides that have arguments. I guess it all depends on their matchups, really. But I'm still loving the Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Stuck. Alrighty. Next, we'll take a look at Mr. Colin versus Mr. Jeff here. Another decently even matchup. ESPN has a little edge to Colin, and so does the podcast. I do really like Jeff's teams. I'll highlight a couple players that I think are pinnacle to him having a successful week. Alvin Kamara, obviously, Kyler Murray, on and off, depending on if he can run around or not. And then obviously Kelsey and Cup, if they can keep on going. I think they are two people who can carry teams quite literally. On Colin's side, I think Jalen Hurts and T. Higgins are studs this year. I think the Eagles offense is legit. I think the Eagles defense is legit. And he's playing Keenan Allen for the first time this year. So hopefully you can get some more points from the Chargers offense that had a good week last week for the first time. So that's what I got going on for this matchup. It's pretty even, but yeah, seriously, these matchups are starting to feel less and less even, like, because each week has been so different, I think, for everyone. So I will point out that Damian Harris has the most touchdowns out of any running back since week 7 of last year, even more than Jonathan Taylor. So I think that's a fun stat. He's definitely an underrated player. So
cool.
You want to head over to this matchup next?
Yeah, we sure can, Brennan. I'll give you a little spoiler. It won't be quick and it won't be close in this matchup. Ken is about to run Ozzy out a ton. All right. Yeah, if you're betting against Ken in this matchup, I'm guessing you're the type that's been fading Brennan and I in our lock of the weeks all season, because this, I would like to make this my lock of the week. I don't think I can, but golly, this Ken's gonna continue on this tirade that he has started. Ozzy already taking out players from his roster in retreat, probably the wise thing to do. Just get them all out of there. For you.
That is good. We got a big Kennedy Dollar cheerleader right here. I also think you're rooting for him more than your own fantasy teams.
I've just seen the light, I'll be honest. After 235 points and silence from him, I'm following my leader.
That's awesome. Well, good luck, Ozzy. We are writing you. Peter has officially written you off of this week, so
shit.
I still like his squad. I'll take Ozzy, the underdog in this one.
Oh God.
And looking at the final matchup of the week is me versus Peter. A good fitting last matchup here. Should be a close one, to be honest. We both started off the season 2-0, getting first 2-0 wins there. Then we, both got a loss, and then Peter lost last week to Ozzy, actually. Again, talking shit on Ozzy. Peter's got a rebrand. He's no longer the Peter football team, just like the Washington football team. They are moving on, and Peter's decided to move down into the sewers, where he's claiming his name as the Sewer Men. So watch out. Pretty creepy.
Look, I think I'll let my play do the talking, but it was clear that something in the clubhouse needed to change. So we stripped away all those pretty colors, and we're not only gonna go get it from the mud, but we're gonna live in the mud for a little while. The sewers and see
Pete's got some average running backs, but definitely heavy on the wide receivers with two great wide receivers. I know that was his strategy in the draft. I think he's still looking for some production from Justin Herbert, but he's got Chris Godwin back in the lineup, hoping that maybe Tom Brady's rotator cuff isn't too much of an issue. And Jet State University is the first place team. He's got a good quarterback in Josh Allen, some great running backs, some a really good wide receiver in Tyreek. We'll see if his production can continue without Tua. Pat Freiermuth has also been a really standout tight end, I think, recently. Decent flex positions, but other than that, relying on some production from some specific players up near the top. So
I'll say it's no fluke that you're first place. That is a good looking team, especially Jamal Williams. Who could have known would be this?
Yeah, he was a late round. I love Jamal. I don't know. Obviously, you as a Packers fan know Jamal. I'm sure the Bears fans know Jamal. He's a sweetheart. He's a lovable dude.
And just always been a hardcore RB2. And obviously DeAndre Swift has gone down, so he's got that starting spot. But I mean, even before that injury, Jamal was getting more goal line and stuff than we've seen him get at the Packers. So cool for him.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll see next week what happens. And moving on, we are gonna take a quicker look at the all Brenan team. I'm not gonna waste so much time listing every position. A lot of it is the same as last week. Same top three quarterbacks, running backs: Lamar, Saquon, and Chubb. The wide receivers actually flopped, but it's the same two: Cooper Kupp and Stephon Diggs. And the flex positions got swapped out. Instead of Amon-Ra, who didn't play last week, and Jalen Waddle, who had his first poor week, only scoring about 6 points. It's now Tyreek, who had another great week, and actually Justin Jefferson back, who had some measly weeks, and now some really fairly big weeks that have basically put him back on the all Brenan team.
That's surprising that he can go 2 single digit weeks.
Seriously,
and have one good week and he's back in it.
Yeah. Confidence back on Justin Jefferson, I'm sure, for those owners, who is owned by Kennedy. Mark Andrews got overtaken by Travis Kelce, who took back the tight end position, who's up 78 points to Mark's 68 points this year. And the defense and the kicker are still the same. The Bills, who have 54 points, owned by Brenan, and Young Hui Koo on the all Brennan team is also he also has a friend, 46 points to both him and Daniel Carlson, Colin's first person on the all Brennan team. So that's what the all Brennan team looks like. We're going to try to keep it a little bit better formatted. Hopefully whoever's out there watching the shows appreciates that. Now we are at the point of the podcast that I don't know if anyone's getting to. I'm not allowed to bet here in Nebraska. Peter hasn't been betting on these games, and I don't think anyone's been betting on these lock bets. Peter and I have taken a look at DraftKings. We have picked a bet that we believe is a lock bet for the week. And so far, after 3 episodes and 4 weeks, we are looking at a 6-0 record. Peter and I both have 3 perfect bets. They are lockable. So I don't know. Someone's got to ride with us. Someone's got to.
Fourth, Brennan. How about you start us off? What is your lock of the week? I'm honestly still choosing between 2, so hopefully you choose one of them.
Looking at last week, Chargers -5 versus the Texans was my pick. The Texans lost to the Chargers 34. I'm sorry. Let me restart that. We can. Looking at last week, Peter picked the Chargers -5 versus the Texans with a 10-point win, 34-24 over the Texans. Another lock bet. My pick was the Cardinals +2. The spread actually changed before game time to +1.5 over the Panthers, and they actually won the game 26-16. Definitely locked that one. This week, I am going to go with the Washington Commanders +2.5 over the Titans. I still think the Titans aren't very good. I think they're still relying heavy on Derrick Henry, and I don't think their line is very good, nor is their defense very good. I went with the team over the Titans in week 2, and it worked. So we'll see. I think my lock of the bet.
Wow.
Lock bet of the week. Washington at 2.5 over the Titans.
Okay, Brennan, that was one of mine that I was hoping you would take off, but I was on the other side. So we'll see. That will be interesting. I had a thought, should I lock the Titans and then we just duel and end the streak? But I don't. I'll stick with mine. You want to do that?
I thought that's what you were going to.
All right, I'll go with the Titans.
No, you can't take that back.
I'm locking the Titans.
All right. All right.
I think Washington's offense is so bad right now, and that's the end of story. And
I think there's a very, very strong chance that Brian Robinson, who got shot in the leg in preseason, has been out, is supposed to play this week. So I'm hoping there's going to be a storybook matchup there where Brian Robinson gets at least 1 touchdown. So I'm really hopeful. We'll see.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, one of us is going to lose now. I'll just throw it out there that the one I would have taken was Niners over Panthers, but that's not it. It's Titans locked, and we're heading at each other. We'll see who wins. Oh, geez.
All right. Well, that just made it interesting. Well, that was week 4 recap. Week 5 matchups. Thanks for the tuners, people who tune in and left voice messages.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Peace.